You're on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put this playlist on there. Hey friends, if any of you can see me, awesome. I'll look in the chat. I'm also trying to get you a playlist here. Hi, Kat. It's on my Spotify playlist too, which I'm trying to get to and give you a little link. My Spotify. Can't get to it. That's not gonna work. Like, how do I get out of the screen and get to the Spotify on there? There we go. And I'll wait for a few of you to possibly join too. Out of there. I'm excited about the Flow 1 today. There's the playlist. You can start it when I start it. I'm trying to time it out. So my strap is twisted. Oh, thanks, Kat. Awesome. Cool. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mia. Yay. So those of you who are familiar with the Flow 1, you'll know this movement. You may or may not need a strap for that bigger peak posture that we do. It's not really peak, but it actually does set us up pretty nicely. So if you think you need a strap for Ekapada, Uttita Pada, Padangusthasana, we'll do this movement, this movement. So if you know you already can't reach your foot, get a belt, get a strap, get something like that. Otherwise, I'm going to show the toe loop right now, and then I'll show the chaturanga. So as you fold, if you want to just join me and fold forward, you'll take your 2-piece fingers around your big toes. Nice. This. Piece fingers where your flip-flops would go. That's ideal, but if you can't access your toe, I totally get it, especially if you're tight in your hamstrings. Get yourself some sort of belt or strap, and I'll review chaturanga really quick. So we can start on our knees if you'd like. I generally like to do the first couple on my knees. Just to warm up, be sure you shift forward. Exhale halfway down, elbows are over your wrists and hugged in pretty tight to your rib cage. Breath in, upward facing dog. See if you can clear your knees off the earth and broaden through your collarbones and gaze straight ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then that full variation, all I ask is that you be mindful here. Don't sink and lead with your hips. Don't let them pop up too high. Keep everything nice and level, a lot of integrity through your arms. Inhale, pull yourself forward from the balls of your feet to your tiptoes. Exhale, halfway down. Breath in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I think most of you got that. Looks like I have a few of you joining me. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. I'll start the playlist right now with you, just so that hopefully we're on the same page. Costa Rica 3 if you're following me on Spotify, or if you've got that link and that works for you. Let's start it now. Okay, we begin in supported fish pose. So if you do have some sort of support, like a block, or if you happen to be lucky enough to own a bolster, or you can even just grab some sort of rolled up blanket. Take that underneath your shoulder blade region. Sometimes I need some support here too underneath my head, but if this feels nice and open for you, great. You can butterfly your legs. Feet can be flat, legs can be neutral. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Let's tap into it. And start to really get that rhythm of your Ujjayi pranayama, that slight restriction in the back of your throat. Breathe in and out of your nose. See if you can keep your lips sealed. Start to set up the cadence, the rhythm of your breath you'll have for the entirety of your practice. Let's take about another minute or so here. Couple more deeper breaths. And then from here, keep that rhythm of your breath, keep that sound of your breath. You may have to prop up onto your elbows to remove the support, or perhaps roll onto your side. Have it nearby though, you never know if you may need it. Give yourself some self-love here. Hug your knees into your chest. Perhaps rock side to side. And eventually we'll make our way to seated. So you can either rock and roll forward and back. Otherwise, turn onto your side. Find your way into tabletop position. Hands and knees to the floor. Keep that same rhythm to your breath as we go through cow and cat. Inhale, lift your head. Look up. Exhale, press into the earth. Round your spine. Look towards your thighs. And again, inhale. Lift your tailbone. Arch your back. Broaden through your collarbones. Exhale, round your spine, draw your navel in. So get the idea here that we want to link breath with movement. Inhale to look up. And exhale to round. So a few more of these. Also note that you could take on additional movement. The sides of your body, your hips, your shoulders. I want to add in a brief thread the needle here. I might go a little off script today. I just want to add in some different stuff for you. So let's start with the left arm today. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Note that things will look backwards on Facebook, so just do your best to look at the cues. Exhale, send it through and underneath. And then you can also do a half bind, which is right arm around your low back. Perhaps you have the availability to tuck your fingertips into your hip crease and work that left inner thigh open. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead, come on out, tabletop position. Same thing, second side. Breathe in, reach your right arm up, open through your chest. And on your exhale, take it through and underneath. And from here, you'll find a similar shape to that first side. Left arm around your low back if you did before. I'm just checking in with our timing, checking in with our music. Take about 2 more cycles of breath. And when you feel fairly even from side to side, you'll come on out. Tabletop position. Any other movement that's needed, and we'll move into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You might want to check in with your plank position. That first position of downward facing dog, feet aren't too close together, nor are they too far apart. You're not sinking through your chest. Press away from the earth, lift in that space between your shoulder blades. Take 1 more deeper breath in. Hands and feet don't move. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take some time to pedal out your legs. You can windshield wiper, that's what I call it, at least, where you pivot one foot down than the other. That really helps to get into the side obliques and really deep into outer hips and glutes. 2 more cycles of breath. And on the exhale, walk or step yourself to the top of your space into a simple forward fold Uttanasana. Depending on what you've been doing with your body lately, hopefully this feels good. If it doesn't, find a way to make it feel good. Bend your knees, do some squats. I like to open up my knees and reach through. Just get a nice stretch for the low back. So give yourself a couple more moments here. And on the exhale, release your hands to the earth if they're not already. Press into your feet and we'll stand up together. Here we go. Inhale, press into your feet. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart space. Let's take a grounding breath here, in through the nose. Keep your lips sealed. Exhale out of your nose. All right, our half sun salves here. Inhale, root through your feet to reach through your fingertips. Breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana, bow down, pour over your thighs. Perhaps hands meet the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your chest forward, move your thigh bones back and away. Exhale, refold. Okay, let's do 2 more together. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart space. And again, inhale, press into your feet to reach through your ring fingers. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, bow to your practice. On your breath in, halfway up. Pull your shoulder blades onto your back, draw your navel in, exhale, refold. So you probably get the idea. Let's just do breath to movement. Inhale, reach up, stand up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, elongate your spine. Exhale, refold. So a little different today here. Bend the knees, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Now if arms overhead's a bit too much, you can take hands to heart center or even reach them behind you. Just be sure there's not any strain or pain in your low back, but you should certainly feel some intensity. Keep some of the weight back into your heels. Over the screen. Steady the breath. We're going to go through 2 full sun salutations. This includes Chaturanga Dandasana that I demoed earlier. Here we go. Inhale, stand up, reach up, get longer, get taller. Breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Here's our first Chaturanga. Know that you can take it on your knees. You can walk it back, step it back, jump it back, but be sure to pull yourself forward. Exhale, halfway down. Breath in, upward facing dog. See if you can get the kneecaps off the earth. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 1 cycle of breath here and we'll go all the way through that breath to movement. On the exhale, look forward, walk, step, or float to the top of your space. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way through this sun A together. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart space. Breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breath in, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Breath out, Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. All right, you guys. Take a couple of breaths here. Cool. All right. Let's do the warm-up for the legs before our first balance pose. Almost there. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step all the way through to a lunge. Do your best to organize your front knee over your front heel. You don't want the front knee pushed too far forward so that front heel pops. You don't want it too far back. Then we'll do the movement here. Inhale, modified pyramid. Exhale, lunge forward, heart forward. 3 more. Inhale, legs are straight. Exhale, lunge. You probably get the idea. Twice more with the breath. All right, from there, Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, and we'll warm up the other side after that. Take a full cycle of breath in, and let it go. Yeah, just be sure you're reaching through your arms. You don't lean on your arms here. Press them away. 1 more breath here, and then we'll do the other side. On your next inhale, lift the left leg high. Lead with your heel. Exhale, come all the way through into a lunge. Once again, be sure you've organized front knee over front heel. And if you need support, use your block or whatever you need under your hands. And then do this 4 times with me. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. It doesn't have to be at my pace. You want it to be at your unique breath's pace. And then you know your choices. We always meet in down dog, Chaturanga. All right, the script now calls for the balance pose of tree pose, Vrikshasana. You can walk, step, or jump, or simply walk your hands together to the middle of the mat. But either way, you'll make your way to standing. I'll face the screen. Note that you want to root through your feet. So look at your feet. Be sure the toes don't point out. They should point to your true north, directly forward. And then let's lift the foot 1 minute here. Squeeze your lifted foot into your opposite inner thigh. Be sure not to let your hips become unlevel. Keep them level. Scoop low belly in and up. Find your drishti, your one visual point of focus. You can always do branches. You can challenge yourself and you can wave your arms side to side. You can get creative. Hold on, we're almost there. Two more cycles of breath. And then go ahead and release the pose. Perhaps take a moment, stretch out your feet, pedal out your legs. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So fan out your toes. Be sure you're not gripping the sticky mat. That's just going to tire out your leg quite quickly. So fan out your toes, root down through the opposite foot. Let's start the timing now, 1 minute. You can actually hold your foot. It's not cheating. You're just getting the impression into your body of the shape that you're looking for. This is one of my favorite balance poses because it's so accessible, yet still a challenge, right? Because we're balancing on one leg. Okay, we're about halfway through if you want to grow branches. Think like a tree, it roots down so that it can get a little taller towards the sunlight. Hold on, we're almost there. Couple more breaths. And then slowly release the posture, stretch it out, shake it out. Okay, now we'll do our warrior two work. And then my cameraman can go do what he needs to do. Let's do a sun salutation together. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, get longer, get taller. And breath out, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breath in, halfway up. And exhale, Chaturanga. You know your choices by now. Okay, we'll do our Vira 2 work. I'm going to add in a knee to nose here today to ramp things up. But know that we always meet in a lunge. Inhale the right leg high. And exhale, knee to nose. Or add in whatever you'd like. Sometimes I feel like Bob Ross, he's like, happy little trees, just add in what feels good to you. Warrior 2 on the inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. So as we come into this posture, use up the real estate on your mat. Find that front heel to back arch alignment, maybe it's heel to heel arch alignment. Reach through your fingertips. Take one more cycle of breath in. And on the breath out, flip your front palm. Reverse warrior on the inhalation. Reach back. Sometimes I like to do a little wrist pull or add in Ganesh Mudra arms. You can do whatever you want with your arm variation, but be sure you don't back too much out of the lunge. Keep it a lot of integrity in that lunge without it collapsing in on you. It should stay stacked over the front heel. Take one more inhalation, reach way, way back. And on the exhale, warrior 2 again. Breath in, straighten the front leg all the way. For triangle pose, exhale, reach forward. And then right hand either to some sort of support, the floor, your shin can do nicely. As you reach the opposite arm high, be sure you don't swing your torso forward over your legs. Lay your back against an imaginary wall behind you. Take one more cycle of breath in. Stay for the breath out. And then inhale, warrior 2. Exhale here. Inhale, 5-pointed star. When the exhale takes place, forward fold Uttanasana, or rather Prasarana Padottanasana. So from here, I want to add in the twist on this side, and then the second side will just flow right through it. So left hand either to some sort of support, a block, or even if it meets the mat, great, but it's directly underneath your face. Lengthen your spine on the inhale, and on the exhale, you'll turn to your personal right. So you'll open up to the right. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Switch out the hands. Inhale, find a longer spine, then exhale, twist and open. Don't overthink the levelness of your hips. One hip might naturally lift a little higher. Let whatever happens happen with your hips. Think more of an open chest. One more inhalation. And on the exhale, release. Pivot, turn to the top of your space for your chaturanga variation. Or if you want to ramp it up a bit, one-legged chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Reach through your arms. Take a full breath in. And breath out. Let's do the left side. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale one time, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. And when the exhale takes place, you'll step all the way through to a lunge. Find that 45-degree angle with the back foot. Breath in, warrior two. Come on up, Vira two. Notice if your chest opens up a bit, really rotate it away from that front bent leg as you take your gaze out and over your left fingertips. One more cycle of breath in. And breath out. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. So notice here as I maintain the integrity, commit to that front lunge, my chest doesn't face the ceiling. I'm really rotating it towards this tapestry, away from the bent front leg. One more cycle of breath in, reach way, way back. And then exhale, return to warrior two. Breath in, straighten the front leg all the way through Utthita Trikonasana. Exhale, reach forward, find the length, and then left hand to whatever support works best for you. As long as you can open up without swinging the torso forward. Legs are strong and active. Lift the muscle and bone of your legs up towards your pelvic floor. One more cycle of breath in. And breath out. And here's where we flow a bit. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale right here. Breath in, star, big giant X shape you create with your body. And then parallel the feet and exhale, go ahead and fold right down the middle. Work the crown of your head to the earth. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, pivot, turn top of your mat for your variation of chaturanga. Take a full breath here. Okay, we'll flow through this quickly, and then we'll take our little water break, kind of see where we are in time and space. Inhale the right leg high. Let's add in the knee to nose here. Exhale, shift it forward. Inhale, leg lifts. Shift it back. Exhale, step all the way through to a lunge. Pivot your back foot to the earth. Breath in, Vira two. Hold here as you exhale, flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg for triangle. Exhale, reach forward and down. Inhale, let's come directly into five-pointed star here. And then exhale, parallel the feet, fold all the way forward with wide legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, pivot, turn top of your mat, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Got lots of choices here. Then one full breath in. Long breath out. Let's do the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. One time on the exhale breath, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, step all the way through to a lunge. Be sure you pivot your back foot flat to the earth. Breath in, Vira two. Hold here as you exhale, flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse, side body stretch. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, triangle, reach forward and down. And then right away, inhale, 5-pointed star. But be sure to parallel your feet to the short edges of your mat. Exhale, bow down and in. Crown of your head towards the earth. Inhale, halfway up. And then exhale, pivot turn for your chaturanga. Reach through your arms for a full breath in. Let the breath go. And here's your water break, friends. At least this is where I put it. I put it in halfway through the practice, which is where we are now. So you can take child's pose if you need it. Hopefully you feel nice and warm now. This might be where you need to grab your belt or your strap. If you don't need it, awesome. We'll use that peace finger, that toe loop that I spoke towards a little bit towards the beginning of practice. Okay, here we go. This can be a challenging one to talk through. For one, you can do tree, right? We already did that. So you could call that the modification and simply practice your tree pose. Otherwise, hug one leg into your chest. And you can hold here. Otherwise, hand to your opposite hip. Find your belt or your peace fingers to your big toe. Stand up tall, proud chest. Send your leg directly forward. If it doesn't straighten all the way, that's more than fine. Just focus on the balance and the standing leg. Let that be strong and straight. And those of you who have the availability, you'll take your leg out to the variation B. Final variation of this posture is opposite arm extends, and you subtly look towards that extended arm. One more full breath in. Breath out. And then exit the posture slowly and mindfully. All right, you guys, nice work. Let's do the other side. Okay, root down, just like we did in tree pose. Again, that's your modification. Otherwise, start the timing now. Hand to your hip. Find that peace finger. Peace between your first and second toe where your flip-flops would go. Stand up tall. This is a fine place to stay. Even if you're in tree, you're doing the work, it's valuable. Extend your leg forward. Take a full breath in. Breath out. And then part B, over to the side. It's not really about the height of your leg here. I have an externally rotated femur bone here, so my inner thigh is rolling towards the wall behind me. Final variation, opposite arm extends, and you subtly gaze to that direction. Hold on. One more full breath in. Stay for the breath out. And then back to center or find your release. Nicely done. Stretch it out. Shake it out. And then we'll go through a vinyasa. Of course, you can go to down dog. Know your choices. Breath in, reach up, root to rise. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. And then exhale, chaturanga. I really chugged that water. I can feel it in my belly. I like this next flow. It's a crescent lunge flow. So I want to encourage you to add in as many knee to noses as you wish, or simply meet in the lunge. Breath in, lift the right leg high. And then I'll add in one knee to nose here on the exhale breath. Notice my shoulders have come all the way over my wrists. Inhale, leg high. And on the exhale, step through to a lunge. Root down through that front heel for your high lunge. Keep the back heel off the floor as well. Inhale, full crescent, Anjaneyasana. Now, sometimes we tend to tilt forward. You can certainly do that, but it's more of a challenge to stay up high. Notice that the front ribs kind of pull open, knit them in and together. Deep bend in the front knee. One more inhalation. And on your exhale, open arm twist to the right. So I am twisting in the direction of my front bent leg without leaning forward too much. That's certainly a tendency. Be sure your shoulders are directly over your hips. One more breath in. Stay for the breath out. And inhale through center. On the exhale, airplane arms. So palms face the earth here. There's a diagonal line of energy through the backside body. Keep a little bit of length through your neck, back of your neck. One more inhale. Ooh, stay for the exhale. You should feel this challenge. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, hands down. Lots of chaturangas in this sequence, so you guys certainly know by now you have your choices. Oh, feels so good to move. I don't get nearly as much of it as I used to. All right, let's do the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Reach through your arms, add in the knee to nose on the exhale. Be sure to shift your shoulders forward over your wrists, like we do in plank. Inhale, leg lifts. And exhale, step all the way through to a lunge. Once you've organized front knee over front heel, root down through that front heel. Inhale, rise to a high lunge, full crescent, Anjaneyasana. So the difference from Warrior Two really is that back heel lifted and everything is squared forward rather than open. So the best of your ability, you square everything forward, reach your arms overhead, knit your upper front ribs in together. Take one more cycle of breath in. And on the exhale, open arm twist to your left. So in the direction again of your front bent leg, without pushing it too far forward, without reaching too far forward. Keep everything nice and stacked. 2 more breaths. Now after those 2 breaths, legs stay. Inhale, arms reach. Your legs should be on fire, at least I know mine are. Exhale, airplane arms. So as you tilt forward here, keep your belly off your front thigh, palms face the earth, so shoulder blades can come together on your upper back. Hear the breath. Take one more. Legs stay. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, take your vinyasa. All right, a couple breaths in your down dog. Here's the fun part where we get to flow breath to movement. And then we do some upper body work and some core work. So enjoy this moment. Take another inhalation. Maybe an open mouth exhale, but hopefully you're feeling fairly warm now. Let's do the flow, adding in knee to nose. Inhale, lift the right leg high, lead with your heel. Breath out, knee to nose. Pull yourself forward. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, deep lunge here. Root down through the front heel. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, chaturanga. And I always say, if you know it, flow it. So if you do, go for it. I'll still give some light cues here. Breath in, left leg up. Breath out, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Breath out, lunge deep. Inhale, crescent. Legs stay. Exhale, open arm twist to the left in the direction of that front blunt leg. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, airplane. Breath in, crescent. Then exhale, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Couple of breaths in your down dog. You have a little bit of music left, so if you want to take child's pose, again, if you need your water, because here's where we set up for everyone's favorite posture, forearm plank. And I get to do it with you today. And I think those of you who take my classes, you know I'm a timer. I always time everything, so I'll be sure to do that. In about 30 seconds, we're going to take forearm plank. If you prefer full plank, great, but it's a great way to strengthen the entire circumference of your core. So for forearm plank, we'll bring our forearms parallel to each other to the long edges of our mat. Same thing like in high plank, you don't want the hips to sink down low nor pop up too high. All right, so here we go. Let's lead together in 3, 2, 1 minute on the clock. So as we hold this, you might have to broaden the arms, that's fine. But still, shoulders are over your elbows. You're not letting the hips pop up too high or sink down too low. Power back through your heels. Be sure you don't let your head drop here. It's so easy for some reason. Instead, take your gaze forward, perhaps past the top edge of your yoga mat, and really pull your heart through the gate of your arms. We're already halfway through, so you guys can do this. Hold on. Find the breath. A little bit of shake is more than fine. We're going to rest after this in a minute. 15 seconds left from here. Lifting that space between your shoulder blades. Hold on. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're done. All right, you guys. And here's where the script actually calls for a water break, but I think water is essential whenever you feel thirsty. Okay, so a little bit of work to open the hips, and then we'll work our way towards half moon pose, which is the big peak spring posture. I want to show you a couple things first. For one, you might be more than capable of simply doing this on your mat with a block or without the block, and you might need a wall. So I'll show the wall here in a moment, but either way, you want to start in a strong warrior 2 stance, correct? Okay. So here we go. I'm going to show you the wall real quick with all my fancy. You can still use the block. You can use the floor. But if you need this, once we get into this posture, we're not there yet, but warrior 2 would be against the wall. And then you take your half moon, step into the front leg and open up. What's great about the wall is it doesn't let your leg float too far back, but it can go forward. So if you're not using the wall, great. Imagine the wall is behind you so everything can open up, all right? Get yourself set up, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, here we go. Inhale the right leg high. Breath out, step through to a lunge. Now we've already been in warrior 2, so be sure you pivot that back foot to the earth. Breath in, Vira 2. Let's hold here for the exhale. And then inhale, star. 5-footed star for horse. So sit nice and low. Hold here. Knees track over toes. Try not to lean forward too much. Drop your tailbone straight down. Here's where we'll add in the twist. So hands to your thighs. You'll kind of figure out for yourself which way your fingertips need to face as we do these shoulder dips. Breath in. And then exhale, drop your left shoulder in. If it's not your left shoulder, that's fine. Drop one shoulder in. Take a cycle of breath into your low back. Inhale, center. And exhale, dip it in. One full breath here. And then let's flow. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. One more time each side. And then through center. Inhale, rise. Let's come into warrior two again on the exhale. So reposition your feet, right toes face directly forward. And the back toes are turned in. I don't have them face out. I definitely have this back whole thigh internally rotated. And keep the front knee bent. Exhale, extended side angle, reach forward and down. Now I would say this would be the modification for half moon. So you can stay here, root down through the outer back foot. Those of you who are ready for it, maybe you move to the wall or use your support. Step into the front foot, float the back leg. And this back leg isn't all floppy and the foot's not hanging. You're extended through your heel and really opening through both hips. Hold on. And even if you're not using the wall, imagine you're using the wall so your leg doesn't float too far back. One more deeper breath in. Stretch your heels apart. Breath out. And inhale, nice and controlled. And step back to warrior two. And then even add in the reverse warrior. I think that's a lovely part of the release without losing the depth of the lunge. And then chaturanga. All right, friends, we're almost there. That's the peak posture for the spring sequence. So whatever support you need, or if you move to the wall, it's no big deal. It's your space, it's your time. And however it imprints the body is what's important. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, come on through to a deep lunge. Be sure these left toes face directly forward. It's so important to set you up for a half moon. Pivot your back heel to the earth. And then inhale, warrior two. Now we've already been here, so again, exhale, hold. We'll flow through this. Inhale, star, heels and toes out. Exhale, find your depth for horse. Inhale, star. Breath out. Now return to warrior two. Once again, so important those left toes face forward. And we'll set ourselves up for extended side angle. Breath out, reach forward. Left hand down to your support or the floor. Maybe you squeeze left arm and left leg together. Or here we go, Ardha Chandrasana. Take flight. Step into the front leg and then lift the back leg. Note that both hips are open. I'm almost trying to rotate my right kneecap to face the ceiling. If you fall out, no big deal. That's why this is a practice. If you're using a wall, great. If you're not, imagine that you are so that lifted leg doesn't float too far back. One more breath in. And then nice and controlled. Exhale, step it back for your reverse warrior release. Deep bend in the front leg, side body stretch. And then exhale, last chaturanga of our sequence. Someday I should count them. I wonder how many we do. Maybe 20 or 30. All right, you guys. Find your way to seated. You can walk, step, or jump yourself through. I want to add in, we have a little bit of time, so I'm going to add in bridge with or without the block, totally up to you. Lie down on your back. Let's set ourselves up. Knees are bent, feet are flat to the floor. Fingertips, this is just a general measurement. It almost works in everybody. Not completely, but for the most part, you just don't want your feet really far away. But you also don't want them so far in that your knees are forward. So you want the joints stacked, knees over ankles, empty your lungs, press into your feet, inhale, lift your hips. Or use the block under your tailbone region. Just be sure the knees aren't flailing out, unless you want that Ashtanga variation where feet are together, knees are open. That's kind of a fun variation. And it's also safe. Lift your chest towards your chin, move your chin away from your chest. One more breath in, lift your hips. And when the exhale takes place, descend, constructive rest, which means feet wide to the edges of your mat, knees together to touch, rest, breathe, be here. Okay, a couple of closing postures here. If you want to add in anything that you feel safe with or it's a favorite to you, then do that on your own. Otherwise, twisted root is the closing twist, which is basically eagle legs. So if you're familiar with eagle legs, great. Otherwise, your right leg goes on top. If you can wrap your feet, great. If that doesn't work for you, legs are bent 90 degrees. Either way, drop your legs over to your left. Maybe some support. Sometimes, some days I really like the block, depending on my low back issues. Block on your knees. Lay your shoulders to the earth, look to the right. One more breath in. Breath out. Now, if you did join me in twisted root, keep your legs twisted up and bring them back to center first, and then unwind. Same thing, second side, support if you need it. Use the exhale, drop your legs to your right, look to the left. Same amount of time here on this side of the twist. About 2 more deep breaths here. And then again, those of you who did twist up your legs, bring them back to center, unwind them, shake them out, stretch them out. And then lovely happy babies pose. Reach in between your legs, take the inner arches, maybe it's the outer feet today, but mostly what we're focused on is ankles, they're over your knees, and knees come to the outer rib cage. And then sometimes it can be lovely and just fun. I was just talking the other day with my friend who had a brand new baby, and she's like, he does this all the time. It's so interesting how intuitive this shape is and how they can like put their feet in their mouth. It's like no big deal. All right, you guys, as you're ready, final Shavasana. You can move to a wall, do legs up the wall pose. You can find your rolled up blanket or bolster, slide under your knees, support your head. Maybe you snuggle up with the blanket. Find a way to be still. I will leave you here for a minute, maybe 2. I'll call you out unless you prefer to stay. So those of you who have the gift of time and you're exactly where you need to be, stay, enjoy your rest, heal. Stay as long as you'd like. Those of you who are ready to exit, take your time, invite the movement into your hands and your feet, your arms and your legs. A little bit of movement into your head. And then full body stretch on your inhale, like you're waking up for the very first time today. Arms overhead, legs get a little longer. And then take your time from there, those of you who are exiting, to turn onto your side. Find a fetal position, rest your head, bend your knees. Find that nourishing shape. And then go ahead and ease on out to some sort of comfortable seated position. Sukhasana, whatever works for you, honestly. Sometimes kneeling is better. We'll fold our palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. As we bow forward together, I'm so honored and privileged to be able to have this opportunity to do what I love and hopefully to do what you love. Remember, when we do yoga, we don't just do it for ourselves, we do it for the entire world so we can continue to serve others. Loka samasta sukhino bhuvantu. May all beings in all the worlds be happy, free of suffering, and at peace. Namaste, my friends. Okay, please feel free to share this post. Do what you can to give yoga to others. I feel like it's a fairly all levels flow. And coming up here is my favorite band's song called Strange Days. And I really like the lyrics in it. I like all their songs. They made this a couple years ago, but I've been diving deep into them because they make me feel so good. Feel free to write anything to me. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great rest of your weekend.